Welcome back to Rewind Rewatch. I am Andrene.
I'm Joel.
We are siblings who are rewatching 90s movies and discussing how well they have aged. We're going to talk about plots, we're going to talk about themes, quotes, and then at the end of the episode, we will give the movie a Rewind Rewatch rating, basically letting you know if we want to rewatch the movie.
Thanks.
Based on, how did it age? Were there things that made us, cringe? Things that were inappropriate? Or was it just a good watch?
That's right.
This one had quite a few requests. This is 10 Things I Hate About You. This is a 1999 film. So it's just in there.
Just the opposite of last week. We started at the beginning of the 90s, 1990 for Home Alone, and now we're doing the end of the decade for 10 Things.
We are one episode away from episode 50. Can you believe that?
The big 5-0.
It's crazy. This movie is a PG-13 movie with an hour and 37-minute runtime, so a very nice sweet spot there. This was requested by 3 of our lovely listeners.
Oh, yeah.
We have Ashita.
Shout out.
Shout out to you. We have Ruby Rube, a.k.a. Rubik's Cube.
Shout out.
Shout out to you.
Lucky duck.
And we have Charlene.
Ah.
Special shout out to you.
Special shout out.
So, this movie is one of those teen high school films that we saw in the 90s with rich kids.
Always.
I mean, these houses were, just ginormous.
Well, we should also preface this by saying we've covered a number of high school teen movies already. And there are a number of aspects of these films that they all seem to share. Mm-hmm. So we've done She's All That. We've done Jawbreaker. We did
Cruel Intentions.
What's the Cruel Intentions? I'm trying to think of the one with the
Can't Hardly
Jennifer
Wait.
Love. Yeah, Can't Hardly Wait. Yeah, that's it. So this is another even The Craft is kind of a high school teen movie.
Yeah.
So what did you see in this movie that is kind of similar to the films that we've already covered that take place in a high school?
Well, like I said, the first thing you can think about going back, even before having the money, it's always this one like outcast type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, it's a girl who like in She's All That. It's like, oh, she's kind of mousy and like she's kind of frumpy the way she dresses, or even in
and she wears glasses. Yeah. What a nerd!
There were no glasses here. I will say that.
No, she didn't have glasses.
Kat did not have glasses. But then you also have the bet, right? There's some kind of bet going on where, I could sleep with her, no problem. I'm hot. Although the character in this film was not a jock, so I will say that. But there's also the idea of different cliques in high school. There's always one scene where they talk about, this table is for this table is for that.
To the left, we have the coffee kids.
Oh, that was Costa Rican, butthead.
Very edgy. Don't make any sudden movements around me. These delusionals are your white Rastas. They're big Marley fans. They think they're black. Semi-political, but mostly...
Smoke a lot of weed?
Yeah. These guys...
Wait, let me guess. Cowboys?
Yeah, but the closest they've come to a cow is McDonald's.
Like, it has to be there in the film. At some point, they have to talk about the cliques in the school. And then there is, of course, one guy who is pining over this girl. And She's All That. You had the guy, since the first day he met her, he knew he was in love with her. And the whole film is him trying to get her. And in this film, we have Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is pining over the character Bianca. So, do you want to get into who's in the film?
Yes. Well, before we do that, let me...
I forgot.
My one sentence summary. Again, how would I describe the movie in one sentence? There's actually a lot going on in this movie, so this is probably going to be a little bit tricky. I should have just ignored it since you forgot. But what I would say is, after a father disallows his daughter from dating unless her So, all right, let me rephrase that. A dad says that his daughter can only date if her outcast sister dates as well. So, a guy that wants to date her, bribes another kid in their class to date the sister. That's wonky.
It's hard though. Like to be fair, this is a hard one. All right, how about I give you 2 sentences? Would that make it a little easier?
Okay, yeah. So essentially, I mean, if I were to break it down into one sentence, this is not going to be all inclusive, but I would say, a guy is paid off to date a girl, and soon finds out that he's actually falling for her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a good way to go about that.
That's a little bit more
like the main
concise.
idea.
Yeah.
So the guy who's paid off, his name is Patrick. He's played by Heath Ledger, R.I.P. We know him from.
Want to know how I got these scars?
Oh man, he was the best Joker, the darkest Joker.
The darkest Joker.
The darkest Joker.
Yeah, because I do have a soft spot for Jack Nicholson.
I know. But yeah, he's from The Patriot, A Knight's Tale, Brokeback Mountain, Dark Knight. I mean, he's been in a ton of things. And
not enough things though.
I know. It's all very sad. Do you want to just talk about his character a little bit before I get into the next person? You want to do it that way?
Yeah, there's not a lot to talk about though, because I feel like a lot of this character, I forget what his name is. Patrick. Like, he's enigmatic. He's kind of like too cool for school. He smokes cigarettes and hangs out at bars with grown men, which is like, how did this kid get in here?
Drinking beer.
But because he basically wasn't in school for a year, people have created a number of rumors about him. And he hasn't done much to dissuade them, because he's kind of, quote unquote, above the fray. So he doesn't really connect with anybody. The one guy that he hangs out with in school looks to be about 35 and has a mohawk. I was very befuddled by his character. So I'm like, how is this guy in high school? He looks like a production assistant.
Is he the same guy that was in Major Payne?
Yeah, the Major Payne guy. He's like, yo, bro, you're mad old. So yeah, but we really don't learn that much about him until like the last 25 minutes of the movie. So for much of the film, he is still kind of this enigma.
Yeah.
And all we know is that he really can't be bothered with whatever high school politics are going on. And he gets involved in everybody else's life because they basically agreed to pay him.
Yes. Then we have Kat, who's played by Julia Stiles. You know her from Save the Last Dance, baby.
Now, was that movie before or after 10 Things?
After. Save the Last Dance was 2001.
Okay.
So funny thing about that.
Okay.
There's a scene in this movie, the scene when she's at the party and she gets drunk and she dances on top of the table to Biggie.
Yes, I know that scene.
Everybody knows that scene if you've seen this movie. So the director's name was Jill Junger. At the time, Junger was dating Paula Abdul. And he told Julia Stiles that he has this A+ list celebrity who could help her choreograph the table dance. And Stiles was like, nah, I can dance. And turned it down. So that whole choreograph was her.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then after this, they were like, oh, Save Last Dance. We got to get her in that film.
No way.
Yes.
You know what's so funny about that? Is I feel like Save the Last Dance is one of those movies that has been like rewatched and made fun of a lot because the dancing is so bad and because like we didn't notice it was bad because we were 12 when it came out. So it's funny that they saw her dancing to Hypnotize on a table and were like, we have to make her star in a film that is all about dancing. because we've never seen anything like this before. Who needs Paula Abdul? Like, that's insane.
Isn't that crazy?
That's actually
like,
crazy.
What? And then I was like, wait, am I missing something?
Yeah, that's insane.
And Julia Stiles' character, Kat, the first time we see her, she's driving into school, and she is basically the female counterpart to Patrick, because she's blasting the song, "Don't Give a Damn for My Reputation," you know.
Freaks and Geeks theme song.
And she's, rolling up, looking at other girls like, ugh, who has time? Who has time for these petty high schoolers? Like, and even the way she talks, like, her vocabulary is very
advanced.
highbrow. Like,
Yeah.
she sounds like
highbrow is the right
she
word.
sounds like she's on Dawson's Creek, because that's how they talk on there. Or Gilmore Girls. It's like, bro, why are we talking like this?
Right, yeah.
They were in like all vocabulary, SAT words. That's just how they talk.
The vocabulary throughout this film is pretty advanced. And on the one hand, you could say high schoolers don't talk like this at all. On the other hand, you could say these kids are pretty affluent, and maybe the vocabulary choices in the script are supposed to be a nod to that.
I mean, she called the boys in her school unwashed miscreants. Is that something that
I didn't go to a rich high school.
anyone in
so
college
I don't
would
know.
even say? Anyone in grad school would even say?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, the screenwriters were definitely doing a lot with this movie, but
yeah. So basically, she's in school, and she very much gives off like feminist vibes. She's giving like Jesse Spano, but like on
10.
Yeah, like on 1,000.
Because it's also like stereotypical feminist. It's not like feminism in the way that we think about it now, well, at least some of us. I feel like the 90s version of feminism that we saw in like Saved by the Bell and in this movie is like this person who is creating a chasm between themselves and everyone else socially because they are so anti-patriarchy to the point that they are unreasonable.
Yes.
And I think she comes off as like highbrow. I thought was the right word, because it's very condescendingly feminist.
Exactly.
It's not like, hey, I want to do these things because women deserve equality. It's like everybody's an idiot because they don't see this.
So when I talk about her sister, I'm going to bring up who else Kat reminds me of, but I don't want to do it yet. I'm going to hold it. So that's Kat. Then we have Cameron, who's played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's from Third Rock from the Sun, 500 Days of Summer, which is Joel's like favorite movie. Snowden, as well as Inception, which I love. And
he was in one of the Batman movies, right? He was in the last one, the Bane one. Dark Knight
Rises,
yeah.
And he is new to the school, and he's being shown around by another classmate. And the classmate is the one that's showing him about the different tables at school and who's sitting here, who's sitting there. And as he's walking around and he's seeing that they have like the white Rasta table, which are the white boys who wear dreads and think that they're black, and the coffee heads and the cowboys and the future MBAs. And then he's like, wait, who is that? And he sees Bianca. And Bianca is, the it girl. She's the one that guys are pining over. Although she's younger, she is only a sophomore.
Yeah.
But she's very popular. And he sees her, and instantly he's in love. He's like, I have to get to know this girl. I have to. And the guy showing him around is like, bro, like, she's way out of everyone's league. Like, she's not even going to look at you. So, like, don't
let
waste
alone
your time.
yours.
Yeah, it's like, don't even waste your time.
Because you're hanging out with me.
Right.
What was that guy's name?
David Camaltz?
No, I mean his character.
Oh, Michael.
Okay.
Michael. So that guy is from Life with Mikey. Do you remember that movie?
I do remember that movie, and I could not remember where I remembered him from, but thank you for that.
Yeah. He also was in The Santa Claus in 94.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
right.
right.
So we've seen him in our young childhood. We've seen him a lot.
And I mentioned Freaks and Geeks theme song. He also is in an episode of that.
He's also in Oppenheimer, which I haven't seen, but
I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little apprehensive because of how long it is.
Same.
And I'm like, I know I'm gonna have
It's
to
a
commit.
commitment. Yep.
And I just haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't had a commitment phobia. I don't know.
Don't want to do it.
I'm gonna do it eventually. I don't know when.
And then we have Bianca, who's played by Larisa Oleynik. I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly, but she is from The Secret World of Alex Mack from 94 to 98. And then she also was on Third Rock from the Sun for 2 years. So she and Joseph Gordon-Levitt had worked together in the past. And then Joey, played by Andrew Keegan. He's from Camp Nowhere. He's also from Seventh Heaven. And,
that's right.
He was Jessica Biel's boyfriend.
Yeah, I was like, where else is this kid from? Because he's like an attractive guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why isn't he in more stuff? It seems like he would be perfect for like this type of movies.
Exactly.
But yeah, you didn't really see too much of him after Seventh Heaven ended.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened after that, but yeah, Joey's not a good guy.
Joey is not a good guy.
He's not a good guy at all.
So, lastly, you also have to mention Allison Janney playing the counselor, writing her romance novels.
Well, lastly, Gabrielle Union. Baby.
Oh, God, yes. Gabrielle Union. Right.
She is forever the black girl in these movies.
Yes.
Always the black best friend.
The black girl, yeah.
But you know what? I commend her for getting the role because
that's what she played.
You know, she's getting that money, so I respect it.
You know, I was wondering, because you talked about how like all these movies have these scenes about like, this is where the future MBAs and the Rastas and the Cowboys and all these cliques. And I wonder like what these movies were trying to tell us as teenagers about fitting in and creating labels for ourselves. There never seems to be anyone, or I should rephrase that. The only people that seem to exist outside of these cliques are the cats, right? Like these outcasts who are either very angry, very intimidating, very nerdy, sometimes all three. And I also just think about like being a 13-year-old in the 90s and the pressures that we felt at that time to like fit in, to like not stand out, to not really have too wild of an opinion because then you're going to be like Kat.
Be ostracized, exactly.
Which is something that I'm sure that happens still to some extent because high school is high school, but I feel like that was drilled into us a lot more during like the MTV era than I would say is happening to like Gen Z now, where I think uniqueness and individuality is celebrated a lot more.
It is.
At that time, it was kind of like you don't want to be too much of an individual because then you're a loser.
Don't create waves, man.
Yeah.
It was all about controlling us.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was something that stood out to me more because I'm like, oh, like, what are they saying by putting this in every teen movie?
I mean, it was always there. Pick your table and stay there, basically. It was like, figure out where you fit in here and, like, find your clique. That's very much what it was.
Yeah.
And you don't date outside of your clique. It's not going to work. So, you mentioned the school counselor, and I just have to get this off my chest. Miss Perky is her name.
Yes, it
and
is.
And she is supposed to be the school counselor, and she does not want to talk to any of these kids. Like, she basically spends, 2 minutes with each student. And the way she talks to the kids is
crazy.
Just so unprofessional. Like, she tells Kat that people call her a heinous bitch. And then Kat, like, smiles when she hears that. It's like, it warms her heart a little bit. And she's just, like, giving the middle finger, and she's, like, just calling the kids all types of things. And I'm like, these are still children. Like,
even the transfer student,
teens,
she gives him, like, no counseling.
At all. He's like, am I in the right office? Like, he's, like, trying to figure out what's happening. He's
what
like,
is happening here?
And she's
what
like, yeah, just, all right, out. So he leaves it out, and then she's writing this smut book. And
smut book.
That's what it was. But my biggest gripe, more than the way she talked to these students, was the fact that she wrote, his huge member was pulsating. I hate the use of the word member.
Members only, baby.
To describe the penis. Like, there's something about it that is just so bothersome to me.
Well, she changes it to bratwurst.
My God.
If that's any better.
It's not.
Pulsating bratwurst.
Ugh. I hate it. Like, as soon as that came on, I was typing furiously. I was like, why is this in here? I can't stand it. But anyway, I digress.
And also the fact that, like, this is an affluent school. So you would think that they would have, like, the best of the best of the best, sir, as a part of this school staff.
Nah,
but somehow this person is their counselor. Not to mention this senior class literature teacher who is very much over everybody in the school.
Yeah.
Like, he spends the entire time basically cussing them out. He kicks Kat out routinely.
Every class for no reason.
And he's just like, I hate all of you. Like, he's very much not happy about anybody in his classroom.
Can we please get a book written by a black man?
Yo, he hates his job so much.
I pointed that out too. Like, yeah, these teachers should basically be on the movie The Faculty, because I think that they're
in the wrong school for sure.
They're more suited for that school for sure. So what I wanted to say earlier, which so when I talk about Bianca, so Bianca and Kat are sisters, and Bianca is, like I said, the pretty young hot one who's super popular, and Kat is not. And the way Kat and her sister interact reminded me of Daria. You ever watch that show? I'm like, Kat is Daria.
Yeah.
Kat is Daria, and that's her sister who, like, walks around with her crop
looking
tops
like a Barbie
all day and a face full of makeup. I'm like, this is literally who they are in real life form. So that kind of made me smile because I love Daria. I think that show's fantastic. So as you said, their dad is a trip. Their dad is an obstetrician, and so because he spends his entire day delivering babies, he is terrified that his teenage daughters will become pregnant in high school. And so the initial rule is they're not allowed to date until they graduate high school, which is crazy. Like, at that point, you're what, 17, 18 years old?
I am 16 going on 17.
And you've never had a relationship because your pops is like, nah, you can't date?
Well, yeah, we're led to believe that this is a unwielding, overprotective dad. So from that perspective, it's supposed to be
outlandish.
Yeah, it's supposed to be outlandish,
which it is. And so as the movie progresses, we see that Kat has absolutely no interest in dating anybody. And so Bianca keeps begging the dad, like, come on, Dad, I want to date. There's this guy. I really like him, blah, blah, blah. So Dad's like, you know what? New rule. You can date whenever Kat does. Because he knows Kat's not going to do this. So he's thinking like, now you can blame your sister instead of blame me. Like, I'm washing my hands of the whole situation.
So I kind of hated this, and I know that it's
comedy.
It's something that you have to do to kind of trigger the action of the rest of the movie, right? Like, the rest of the movie doesn't make sense unless he makes this rule. However, in theory, the change doesn't make any sense because you've already established a rule that none of them can date until they graduate. So then you're changing the rule to create stipulations in which they can date, but you already had a date. You're basically saying like, oh, you can only date if your sister dates, but I know she never will. But it's like, but you already told them they couldn't date, so you could have just said you can't date. It's like, it doesn't actually make any sense. Yeah. But yes, he has to do this so that we get the rest of the movie, and basically Heath Ledger gets paid off to date Kat. Like, this is what we have to do.
So the whole storyline is very convoluted because so you have Cameron, and Cameron wants to date Bianca. So much so that he tries to tutor Bianca in French, although he doesn't even know French. So now he's teaching himself French just so that he can go to lessons to teach her French.
Right, which is all just a ploy for him to get alone time with her so that he can ask her out.
Mm-hmm. Which he does.
Yeah, to his credit, like, it's not Can't Hardly Wait, where the kid is just hemming and hawing over himself for 4 years. He actually like bosses up and asks her out relatively early in the film. So that was nice to see.
Yeah, yeah.
What I didn't love is, and I should preface this by saying, like, almost everyone in this film, except for Kat, has ulterior motives, and they're all using each other. So that's kind of something that has to be established. As you're watching this movie, it's like, oh, all these people are kind of trash because they're all kind of just like lying and not really being honest with each other.
Right.
When he determines that he wants to date Bianca and asks her out, and he's like, oh, we can go sailing, which again, Mr. Moneybags over here.
Yeah,
because
that's a date.
I can assure you, I wasn't taking any girls sailing when I was in high school, and I wasn't doing it in college or after college either. So I'm like, all right, dog, you got it, player. But she, like, it's clear to us as the audience that she's not really interested in Cameron, but she never makes it clear to Cameron.
No.
And she continues to string him along. For what reason, I'm not sure, but it's like, he continues to think until much later in the movie that, like, he has a chance. And she's not giving him any reason to, like, feel differently because as far as he's concerned, she's talking to him about how can we get my sister on a date. So he's like, oh, it's lit. Like, she's interested in me too.
Right.
But she's not. She really wants to date this idiot named Joey. And I'm like, bro, like, this is actually super messed up.
Yeah. No, Bianca was trash.
Cause it's like, yo, you're using this kid to create a plan for your sister to date this other guy, and just so that you could turn around and date some other boy.
Exactly.
And then what are you gonna say to Cameron?
Right.
Like, thanks for your help.
Right.
Thanks for your terrible tutoring.
Thanks for your service.
Thanks for your service. And I'm like, man, this is really, really bad. So tell us, how would you describe this Joey character that's played by Andrew Keegan?
So Joey is a model who, again, he's the attractive guy who can get any girl in the school that he wants. And he decides that he wants to sleep with Bianca because she's a virgin. And this is something, the virgin trope, I want to call it, is something that always shows up in these movies. Whether it's you want to make sure you're not a virgin before you leave high school.
American Pie. Or
it's I want to sleep with the virgin if you're a guy.
Yep.
Because girls don't want to sleep with a virgin boy.
No.
So yeah, it's the idea of like, oh, like I'll be the first one, and like she'll always think of me, I guess, is the idea behind that, I suppose.
Well, I think it's also this concept, and I was listening to something recently. I always feel very pretentious when I say I heard this on this podcast, but I did hear it on a podcast. They were talking about the triad wife phenomenon, and like how this thing that's happening now in 2024 is almost the antithesis of what you would get from like Cosmo magazine in the 90s. Where on the one hand, you have these articles telling 16-year-old girls how to give the best blowjob.
Yep.
But at the same time, you give somebody a blowjob and now you're a slut.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think there is some concept that's being reflected in this film, which is like, you want to sleep with the virgin because she's quote unquote untainted, right? Like she isn't
She's
used
the good
goods.
Girl. God.
She isn't used goods yet, but then once you actually sleep with her, then she's trash.
Then forget it.
And then I actually don't like her anymore because she let me sleep with her, so she sucks. And so then I have to date some other virgin girl because she's, so like that's that very toxic concept of sexuality that was very pervasive at this time.
God.
Cosmo magazine culture.
Yo, Cosmo was hot. Like Cosmo magazine. No, although like I was 17.
How are you defining hot in this moment? I just want to know. Like hot and bothered, hot like popular, hot like what do you mean by hot?
It was hot like popular, but also it would tell you like, kissing tips and like how to wear your lipstick. Like there were things like that were just like, oh, I wouldn't know how to find the right shade for you. Things like that I thought were cool. Although I think I was more of a 17 gal. That was the one I used to read more.
Hear more on the 17 than the Cosmo?
I was into the 17. Yeah, Cosmo was a little bit more grown up. Cosmo was a little bit,
I was reading Slam and The Source, so Those were my favorite magazines. Shout out to the source.
So Joey, again, he's a model, and he basically is talking to one of his guy friends, and they're like, yo, like, Bianca, blah, 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 like, she's a virgin. And he's like, yo, let's do a bet to see if you can sleep with her. And he's like, bet? I don't need money. I'll do this one for fun. I'm like, all right, guys, like, we get it. Everybody here at the school is loaded. You don't need the cash. Well, although not everyone is loaded, because Heath Ledger's character does need the cash.
Yes. And
Patrick,
at one point,
he does need
Joey
the cash.
like calls him like trailer park trash or something.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Which is also very...
So what ends up happening here is Cameron realizes, oh, I want to go out with Bianca, but she can't do so. So I'm going to help Kat get a date. In order to do so, he's like, yo, actually, it wasn't him. It was his friend, Michael. Michael says, okay, I'm going to get Joey involved and tell Joey that Bianca can't date until Kat can. And so then Joey can pay off Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just so convoluted. I'm like, why are we doing any of this?
Well, the whole thing is they first try on their own. Like, yo, let's just find somebody who will date Kat. And they basically...
that's right, all those guys.
They basically gather like this group of candidates as if it's Flavor of Love or something.
Wait, that part was actually really funny to me because they're asking all these guys, and like one guy's like, he's like, I mean, I would date Kat if we were the last two people alive and there were no sheep. And then he's like, are there sheep? I was like, bro, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
First of all, like,
That's
why?
insane.
That's a very specific animal, number one.
Yeah, that was
wild.
That was a troubling joke.
But what was funny to me is they act this other guy, and then he just goes, ah! He just starts screaming.
The concept of going on a date with Kat.
He was so terrified.
Yeah, brings terror and fear. He screamed at the top of his lungs. Kat!
He thought
As if he was being chased by an axe murderer.
if he had tarantula on his face. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, so then it's like, so we're not going to be able to get anybody to date her unless they get bribed.
Right.
But we don't have the money to pay somebody off. So he's like, oh, we need somebody who has plenty of money and he's stupid and easy to manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Joey.
Perfect.
Right.
So Joey's basically paying Patrick to date Kat so that he can date Bianca, but they're manipulating the situation so that really Cameron can date Bianca.
Oh, God.
So
much
essentially
going on.
this attractive 10th grader has these two seniors trying to date her, take her to prom, and Patrick is really just taking out Kat because every time he takes her out, he's getting like $100.
Yeah. It starts off at 50, but then he ups the
It starts
ups the
off at
pot.
20, and then he basically just keeps playing him.
He's like 50.
And he's like,
No.
fine, I'll give you more money. It's like, bro, like, what are you doing?
Wait,
Like, you really are an idiot because he could just, like, he's also saying, like, I need this money up front. So I could just,
Exactly.
I could just take
Just-
your money and
not date her.
never take her out.
Exactly.
And I just made $100.
Exactly.
And also, what are you going to do? Because I'll beat you up. And everybody thinks I've gone to prison and I'm like this hardened thug. And you're a pretty boy model. So, like, you're really not going to do anything. Why are you giving him your money?
The funniest thing about Joey to me, I don't know if you noticed this, but every time he would be in his car, the same song would be playing.
I did not
It
notice
was like,
that.
baby, baby, baby. And I was like, you gotta find it. I was
No,
like,
that's
every
crazy.
time.
You mind?
Not at all.
That's
Every
crazy.
time.
How did I not
And I was
notice
like,
that?
why is the same song playing every time?
Yo, that's
he's in
his jam.
car?
That's his jam. He got that one CD. He got the CD with the same song on 13 times. He's like, this is my joint.
I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, why is this song still on?
You ain't never burned a mix CD with the same song 13 times?
I've never done that.
You never did it?
I've heard of people doing
You
that.
never pulled a Joey?
Nah, I never did. I never, not same song.
You needed more variation?
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
You can't do that. That's wild.
Joey's wild.
Yeah, so he's not the brightest crown in the box. And Bianca realizes this because eventually Patrick is able to wear Kat down. He does so by finding out what she likes. And so he learns that she does not like smokers. she likes guys who are more like pretty boys. And there's certain bands, like indie bands, she likes to listen to, like all female bands. And she reads Sylvia Plath.
Or a female lead anyway.
Yes. And so...
Because they go watch one of her bands, and I'm like, is this a lesbian bar? Because there's like...
Yo!
There's no guys
There was like one man in there. That's
Heath Ledger.
That's what my husband said. My husband was like, why are there all women?
So I'm like, wait, is she a lesbian? Or like,
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. Or maybe she's just like... so feminist that the only places she goes out are lesbian bars. But also they're high school, so...
Yeah, there's no lesbian high school bars.
I don't know. Maybe in Seattle. We don't know.
I don't know.
I've never been.
But that was definitely something that stood out because it was like, bro, there's no men here.
No.
Except for on the stage. Playing the drums or something. I don't know. But he goes here and like the way he did it though, I will say was very smooth because he doesn't go to her.
Nah,
he's sitting at the bar
with
a drink, and then she comes over. And again, like you said, like people are in high school. Why is there a bar? But anyway, so he's sitting down with a drink.
They all have fake IDs?
And she comes over, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna ask me again? Like, don't." And he's like, "I wasn't. Like, I'm just sitting here listening to the band. You're actually kind of ruining it for me." And she's like, "What? You know who this is?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're not too bad, but you know, whatever bad is actually kind of better than them." And she's like, "You know that band?" And he's like, "You don't." Like, and instantly she's like, wait a minute, we have the same interest. And like, he's kind of like giving her that energy. It's like, I'm really not here to see you. So like, relax.
Yeah.
Which is attractive. It's like, you're not pining over me.
Yeah, he did his homework.
And so now she's interested. And by the end of that day, he basically says, well, we're going to the party tomorrow, right? I'll see you at 9:30. And she doesn't say no. And so the date is on, and Bianca is lit.
The date is on.
So now Bianca is finally able to get her date with Joey, and she is super excited. She goes to this party, but she soon realizes that Joey really doesn't have any substance.
Joey's trash.
The whole time, he's just doing different poses.
The whole time. You know what's funny about this? And this is a house party that, again...
Oh my God.
Cameron and
Michael,
his name. Cameron and Michael have basically
they invited the entire school.
created out of thin air because they take a small get together with the future MBAs and they basically flip it into like a kegger. So everybody shows up to this kid's house and basically takes over, and they're like, "Yeah, this is a party now." But when Bianca's with Joey and Joey's basically just like vapid, he keeps talking about himself, he doesn't really say or do anything all that interesting. It's like, oh, like once she's hanging out with him. And I know I've already referenced Freaks and Geeks like 3 times today, but like this reminds me very much of the main character, Sam Weir. And basically like he has this girl Cindy, who he's just like so crazy about the entire series. And then by the end of the season, she finally starts giving him interest, and they start dating, and she kisses him, and it's this big deal. It's like, yo, you're about to get your it girl. But then when he starts hanging out with her and all the other cheerleader girls, he's like, yo, Cindy's actually mad boring.
Wow.
And like, she has nothing to talk about, and she's not fun. So I think, you know, this might go a little counter to what I was saying at the beginning about kind of cliques and labels. But I think what this film and Freaks and Geeks was also trying to do is say that, like, you know, you don't really know who these people are. It's like the person who everybody's walking around and saying like, oh, this guy's hot, this girl's hot. But then like they might not actually be very interesting, and actually that's more important than being attractive.
Yes.
Which
100%.
again seems obvious to us as grown adults, but like to a 13 or 14-year-old, you're really
hot.
you're not really thinking about that. And so it almost has to be force-fed to you that like, hey, there are more important things to wanting to be with somebody than how cute they look.
Exactly. So now she's like walking around. She basically like leaves the area where he's at the party because she's like, this is stupid. And Cameron is like looking at her the whole night, and she doesn't go to him. She'll look at him and be like, you know, and then like walk the other way because she knew like she played him.
She knew she played
him.
She knew it. And I think it's also like the whole school's here. Like, I'm Bianca. I'm lit. Like, I'm not gonna be caught at this party with this
Cameron.
kid. Like,
Yeah.
he's not popping. He has no social status. So, like,
He's not Poppington.
nah, he's not. He's not. Like, and this is the whole thing. It's like, I have a certain social status in this school that he doesn't have. So I need to be with guys like Joey. But then when Joey turns out to be trash, then she's like, I'm actually just going to leave.
Wait, so talking about leaving, what did you think about Chastity, Gabrielle Union's character? What were your thoughts on that?
What were my thoughts on that? I think for number one, she leaves with Joey after Bianca turns him down. And I'm thinking, well, obviously, she's not a very good friend. I'm also thinking, though, if Bianca knows that this guy's trash and she's no longer interested in him, then why is she so upset about it?
Yes.
Like, because I'm like, well, you obviously don't want him anymore. But then when your friend leaves with him, like, you're pissed.
Yeah, right. That was kind of weird to me.
I thought that was a little odd.
But then I also felt like, as Chastity, is like, you don't care that you're like just playing second fiddle?
No, I don't think she did.
'Cause even going to the prom, even fast forwarding to later on, where it's like he went to pick up Bianca and Bianca went to the prom with Cameron. And then Chastity shows up at the prom with Joey and basically tells Bianca, like, oh, there was just a bet. Like, he was going to sleep with you tonight. Ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, this is your friend? This is your best friend?
Yeah, that
Like, was so bizarre.
That was bizarre because I'm like, why? Yeah, why would you be so nonplussed? Like, you're an awful person. But also, Joey sounds like trash, so why do you want to hang out with him?
Right.
Like, he basically told you, like, I suck. And then you're like, yeah, you're all mine, baby. Like, what? Like, Joey's trash.
And also, wait, so how did this happen? He went to pick up Bianca. Bianca wasn't there, and then he just showed up at your house and was like, let's go to prom. And you had a dress.
And you were just ready? So you didn't have a date?
Well, remember, they're younger. They're only sophomores.
Oh, that's right.
Bianca was the only sophomore invited to the prom, well, until Chastity was. So it's like,
so he showed up to her house, was like, hey, I really want to take you to prom. And she was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
I'll get dressed. Like,
yeah.
I'm lit. Like,
yeah. That's true. That's true.
That's probably exactly what happened.
This is Joey we're talking about, so.
And also, I'm a sophomore being invited to the senior prom. Like, I'm lit.
I mean, not to brag, but when I was a sophomore, I went to the senior prom.
Not to brag, but I am going to brag. Not to brag. But now it's time to brag. So, meanwhile, we have this whole back and forth. And this is the other thing that I had a lot of feelings and thoughts about. Kat gets stressed because she really hates Joey.
Mm-hmm.
And she sees her sister keep spending time with him. She doesn't really want to be at this party in the first place, and she really only came because she wanted to basically throw her sister a bone. So this is the house party before the prom.
Yeah.
So as a way of coping, she's like, fine, everybody wants me to be a party girl so bad, I'm going to take these shots. Some guys they're walking around with shots on a platter as if it's like...
This party was lit,
past hors d'oeuvres. Like, what's going on here? Like,
I couldn't believe it.
I wish I had gone to a rich high school because I've never seen that before. So she's basically just like walking around the party and just picking up tequila shots and downing them.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I think Patrick is a bit conflicted because, yes, he is taking his money, but he's starting to catch feelings for her. Mm-hmm. Anyway, she ends up getting drunk. She dances to Biggie. She bumps her head. She falls down. And she ends up barfing outside before Patrick gets a chance to take her home. So he drives her home, and she feels bad because Patrick... She kind of ruined the night, and she got too in her head, and Patrick was there for her, and he took care of her. And she goes to kiss him, and he's kind of like, nah. And she gets pissed. Like, big mad.
Pissed.
Big mad. And I'm like, girl, you just threw up.
Bro, that's exactly what I said.
Like,
I'm like, I
you
don't want
just
to
threw
kiss
up.
you with your nasty vomit mouth.
Absolutely not.
Vomit breath. And that wasn't even why he pulled away. He said later on because she was drunk and he didn't want to do anything
that's the other
that
part.
She would regret. He was like, I didn't want to be that guy.
I think it's three things, right? I think it's you just threw up. I think it's you're not sober. And I'm not convinced that you would want to kiss me if you were. So I'm being respectful to that. Mm-hmm. And the third thing is I'm really only here because I kept getting paid money to take you out.
Yeah,
So
it's kinda
I think he
weird.
also felt guilty.
Yeah.
So it's like the guilt on top of trying to be a good guy, on top of you just threw up.
But
Like, if he had kissed her, I think that would have been way crazier than what he actually did.
I agree. But in
So-
her mind, I think it's the idea of I'm putting myself out there, which I never do. And it's like, here's a guy, he's been pursuing me this whole time. He keeps asking me out. He likes the same things I do. I opened up and talked to him about wanting my own band and the same music and all these other things. And now I'm finally at a place where it's like, I loosened up tonight. I had a good time. And like, I try to kiss him. And it's this idea of the rejection. And I don't think it's so much she's pissed at him as much as she's embarrassed. She's hurt. She's probably like, why did I put myself out there? She's probably mad at herself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, again, I'm immature. I'm in high school. How do I cope with these feelings? I don't know. I'll take it down on him. Like, I get it.
Yeah. I also feel, though, that if you are in a vulnerable position where you've been drinking, the guy that you're with has not, I don't know. Like, is that a situation where you would be pissed? Or is that a situation where you're like, actually, this is a really good guy because he took care of me and he didn't try to, like, sleep with me?
But I don't think it would have gone that far. I think she just wanted to kiss goodnight.
No, I get that, but also, like, it wasn't like, ew, I don't like you. It was like, yo, like, this is not a good idea. And then she was like, ugh, fine, forget. She was like, yeah, come on, dogs. I think, though, obviously what you're saying is, like, the point. And I think the bigger point is that this is a character who has gone to great lengths not to open herself up to others. Because, as we later find out,
Joey.
and Joey dated briefly freshman year of high school. She lost her virginity to him
Why did she do it?
because she was peer pressured because everybody else was doing it. So then after that, she realizes Joey's a jerk. She regrets making that decision. And she says, I am never going to do something because other people are doing it. And overcorrects to the point where she refuses to do anything other people are doing.
Yeah.
And so it's like this sense of, I'm not going to, whatever people want to do, I'm not going to do it. People want to go to prom, I'm not going to prom. People want to hang out and go to parties, I'm not going to parties. People want to listen to popular music, I'm going to listen to counterculture indie bands.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, whatever people are doing, I'm not going to do that. And she finally, like, allows herself to be open, and she gets rejected. So now it's like, oh, see, I should have known better. So yeah, I think it is like she's more mad at herself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought
it's like,
it was,
how could I be so stupid? You know?
yeah. I also thought it was interesting, though, because I'm watching this with my fiance, and like, we're watching it, and when she tells the story to when she tells the story to Bianca about what Joey did, and she's like, yo, I knew that this guy was trash, and that's why I was trying to protect you from him, because I didn't want you to go through it. Her sister gets pissed and like kicks her out of her room. And I was a little befuddled by that, because I'm like, yo, like, why would she be upset? Like, and she was saying, like, my fiance was basically saying, like, I think it's for her the thing of, you got a chance to basically like make your own mistakes and learn from them. But I'm so protected by you, by dad, that I actually haven't had a chance to like make my own decisions, learn from my own mistakes. Not necessarily to say that like, I wish you had let me sleep with Joey, but it's more so the concept of, you know, she never really got a chance to like learn from her own life in the way that her older sister did.
That's true.
And it was a perspective that I don't think I would have thought on my own.
No, that's very true. And at first she says to her, like, why didn't you tell me? And she's like, oh, I was trying to protect you. That's what she said to her.
Which is a fair point. Why
Which,
didn't
yeah,
she
it's
tell
like,
her?
bro, just say like, oh, this guy is actually trash.
I also think she
You could
didn't
date
want
any guy in the school.
Yeah. I also think she probably didn't want to tell her sister that she was no longer a virgin. Maybe. I could see that.
Yeah, that was something they actually had hinted at something earlier on in the film where Bianca said like, yeah, Kat used to be super popular, and then one day I guess she just got tired of doing it. So it's like at some point she was hanging with the Joey crowd. Like she was at the popular table and probably still would be had it not been for, what happened with her and Joey breaking up with her. So that was interesting to see too, how fast you can change from one clique to the next based on one experience. Because although she's not a loner, she does have a best friend who I kind of felt bad for because there's a part where the best friend says to her, like, oh, the prom, like, like Michael asked me to go. And she's like, you want to go to prom? She's like, why? And she's like, well, it could be fun to dress up, whatever, have a date. And she's like, no, like, we're not going to that. And she was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, but she wants to go. Like,
nah, yeah, that was clear. And I think that kind of goes back to this whole conversation about groupthink and like fit, like selecting where you fit in and sticking to that, right? Like she's created this space for herself where she hangs out with Kat. They're the outsiders. They listen to this kind of music. They're feminists. They don't do what the high school kids are doing. And I think what we find out from this character, this friend, is like, just because she doesn't buy into everything that everybody else is doing, she still wants to like be a high school kid and like have fun and go to dances. And I think Kat's character has done a lot to dissuade her from like accepting anything that isn't counterculture. And what we later find out is like, yeah, she actually does want to like meet a guy and go to prom. And when Michael asks her out, which is like super fire, like.
But also, how did he do this? How did he get
her locker?
into
Obviously, was open because she just pulled it and it was like,
I guess there's no lock.
Yeah, she didn't have any lock. Like the McAllisters didn't have no locks on their doors. So it's like, yeah, the locker's just open. But yeah, Michael beasts it, man.
Yeah, he did.
He beasts it because he knows that she's a fan of Shakespeare. And he basically gets her like this Shakespearean dress and puts a note on it and basically says like, I would love for you to accompany me to prom, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, this is mad romantic.
No, it was on point. It was what she needed, It was like on brand for her. And that's what really counted. It was like, this is what she likes. And he realized it and was like, oh, I'm tapping in. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely for her. And it worked, man. By the end, like, yeah, they were definitely a couple by the end of this film. For sure.
I wanted to talk a little bit about when she finds out, they go to the prom together, and she finds out that he's been dating her as a bet.
Oh, well, he's getting paid. He's been getting paid.
Right. He's been getting paid to take her out. And
good Lord.
Mind you, earlier in the film, she explicitly asked him, like, yo,
what's in it for you? Because he kept pushing the prom, and she's like, bro, why do you care so much about the prom? Like, I want to spend time with you. Isn't that enough? And she's like, no. Is it enough? What's in it for you? And like, he kept being like, nothing. Then he tried to smoke a cigarette after he told her he had quit. So she's like, nah, like, this is BS. And she doesn't really trust it. But eventually she does end up going out with him. And then at that point, again, I think it comes back to the idea of, I let my guard down. I knew I shouldn't have trusted you when I did. And again, I'm stupid again. I played myself again. So now it's like, bro, like, we're done. Like, we're done at this point because I definitely can't trust you. You're getting paid $100 a pop to take me out.
A pop.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
No.
So I think the reason I brought this scene up is because she basically storms out of the gym. He follows her, and she basically is cussing him out. And he's like, no, you don't understand. I really still like you. Like, this was a stupid thing. And she's like, no, you lied to me. Like, you're a jerk. And as she's trying to walk away, as she's basically cussing him out, he grabs her and tries to kiss her. And then she's like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, bro, like, why like, this girl is cursing you out. Why are you trying to kiss her in this moment? Like, this is not the move.
That is so infuriating. And I know we can't cover this movie on the podcast, but this happens in Baby Boy when she gets pissed at Jody. And then it's like, oh, come here, girl. It's like, bro, when I'm mad at you, don't come near me and try to kiss me to be quiet. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, he's shutting you up with passion.
Get out of here. So then she's like, bro, like, no. Pushes him off and walks away. It's like, why did you think that was the move?
But you know what? I feel like we've seen that before in other movies, in TV shows, where like people get in this big fight and then they just start making out. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that ain't never happened to me before.
You know why?
I've never been in a big fight with the girl I'm dating and then we start making out.
You know why that happens?
Why?
They're listening to Neo when you're mad.
Oh, well, guess what? Guess what, man? I feel like that would be like a thing that happened, and I always thought that was so weird.
It is.
Like, I can't stand you.
you.
And then he just grabs her by the shoulders and starts kissing her aggressively. And it's like, first of all, this is sexual assault.
Yeah, at first they try to push them off, and then they give into it.
Yeah,
it's always
like,
that like stop. It's like what?
It's very Shonda Rhimes-ish.
Oh,
it's
God.
very It's like I don't really have anything for that.
Very smut. Smut book.
It's definitely smut.
There's
TV.
definitely members in those kind of.
It's
books.
definitely smut TV.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't love that, and so I was glad that she actually pushed him away.
Agreed. So after the prom, we see Bianca and Cameron are now an item. He's taking her sailing.
That's true.
And she asked her sister if she wants to come along, and she's like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna sit here." And this is when she has a very touching scene with her pops, where the whole time she's thinking
all right, sorry.
She's thinking that her dad prefers Bianca because Bianca is the quote unquote normal daughter who, wants to date and has friends and goes out. And she's like, the dad asked her, like, how was prom? And she was like, I mean, it was fun in parts. And she's like, especially the part where Bianca, like, beat this guy up or punched this guy. And he's like, what, Bianca? And she's like,
what's the matter? Upset that I rubbed off on her?
Oh, impressed. You know, fathers don't like to admit it when their daughters are capable of running their own lives. It means we've become spectators. Bianca still lets me play a few innings. You've had me on the bench for years.
You're getting ready to go to college, like halfway.
And she wants to move to the other side of the country.
It's a whole thing. And so they have this touching moment where she realizes, like, oh, her dad does love her and care about her. And, they have that nice moment together. But the next scene is the emotional scene of the movie. The poem.
The 10 things.
The poem.
The 10 things that I hate about you.
Oh, my God.
So I'm really interested to hear what you think of this ending because at this point, you found out that he was being dishonest. Mm-hmm. You're initially upset with him because he didn't kiss you after the party. But then he does this whole rousing rendition of "Can't Take My Eyes Off of You." He has the band play.
About that.
He's dancing down the bleachers, and then she's like, "Oh, that was so romantic."
That was embarrassing. I would have been embarrassed.
Embarrassed?
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah, that was yeah. I think it was kind of like because the whole concept was, hey, if you embarrassed her, then you have to embarrass yourself.
I get it. But...
And so then it's like, oh, he made himself look like an idiot for me. So after that happens, then the prom, she finds out he was getting paid. I guess my question to you would be like, is there any way back in at this point? Like, would you buy that, hey, this guy's actually being genuine? Or let me rephrase it. If you thought that despite him being paid to take you out, he actually really did like you, would that
I wouldn't buy
matter?
It. I wouldn't buy it is the problem.
What if you did? It's like, hey, this guy is actually really into me, but he only found out that he was into me because he took me out because he was getting paid.
Can I be frank?
Yes.
This is the end of senior year, and I'm getting ready to go to college across the country, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they are going to date for like another month, and then she's moving to New York, so...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, ultimately.
So it's like, yeah, bro, you tried to play me. And like, honestly, I feel like if I was her, my guard is even further up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because this is the one guy that I finally fell for, and he was being paid to take me out, bro. Like, there's no way. It's over. And then also I feel like I leave school, I'm going to my car, and then I see a brand new guitar just sitting in my vehicle that you buy. And now I feel like you're trying to like pay me off. Like the whole thing just seems like the money thing to me just makes it very uncomfortable. I just don't like it.
It feels like disingenuous.
Yeah,
because
I
now
don't
it's
like
like you're trying to buy my affection. I really didn't like it. I really didn't love him buying the guitar. I think the purpose was supposed to be that he's saying that like, yes, I got paid off, but I basically took all that money and like
gave it
back to you.
Yeah.
So it's not
I didn't benefit from it.
I didn't benefit from the money, and the other money that he made, he gave to the band director to play the music.
Yeah.
So he didn't really pocket any cash by the end of the film.
It's the principle for
but
me.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really love this. Like, I feel like it's kind of like, hey, I really pissed you off, but I'm just gonna like give you gifts so that you forgive me.
And they actually said it because they start kissing and she's like, well, you can't just keep buying me a guitar every time you piss me off or something. And he's like, well, there's the drums and the whatever and then the, and I was like,
I can also get you a tambourine.
Yeah, I was like, that's not cute. I hated that. That wasn't cute.
And then she's like, and also, don't think that you can just.
And then he's like, kiss me.
And he just
give me a kiss.
And then he just starts kissing her, and then the movie ends.
Yo, this was like the most 90s kiss that we've had in the podcast.
Yeah.
They were kissing for a long time. Like, this was like a 90s kiss.
Yeah.
I did not like it.
I felt like the end was a little bothersome. Like, I felt like they shouldn't be together.
No.
And to your point, they probably will only date through the summer before she leaves to go to Sarah Lawrence. So it doesn't really matter, but like, yeah. And then the movie turns into a music video at the end. Like, for some reason, there's a band playing on the top of the school.
It's Letters of Cleo. It's an actual band.
They
were featured throughout the film. Like, they were everywhere. But yeah.
Why are they on the top of the school?
Because the director thought it would be a cool shot.
That's exactly what I thought.
And it was.
That's exactly what I thought.
That's exactly what
that is exactly what I thought, because I'm like, this does look cool.
Yeah.
But it's like, it just turned into a music video at this point, because it's like there's no reason for there to be a band on top of the school.
But I feel like in the 90s, like, bands and movies were very closely intertwined. Because
yeah, for sure.
Even when we had Clueless, was another high school movie we had, where they had wanted one particular band to be in it, but then they decided not to do it because they had underage drinking or something. But like, yeah, it was a big deal to be able to sign a band to come in and do the film, because again, you had people who would be, fans of that band and be like, oh, see them in the poster, see them in
I'll watch this movie.
Usher.
Yeah. Oh, they're on the soundtrack. Yeah, I'll check this movie.
Oh, Usher's in She's All That.
Yeah, movie soundtracks were also a big
out.
deal at that time.
Yeah.
I don't think we really care about them as much anymore, but certainly at that time.
Yeah.
And also, I had to mention the fact that at their prom they had a ska band, which is like peak
so
90s. Like, that probably would only have happened for a 3-year span, and all 3 years are definitely in the 90s.
It was so popular, man. So are there any quotes or anything that stood out to you in the film that we did not? Any scenes that we didn't talk about? Because I have one.
I don't think there's any scenes. There certainly have like bigger themes, but if you have scenes, then maybe we should start there.
Just two things that stood out. One that's just like a blast from the past was after Bianca and Kat had that conversation about dating Joey, Bianca turns on her television and she's watching The Real World Seattle. And I was like, oh, this is so 90s. Real World was everything. And then as far as what didn't age well, when Kat is trying to sneak, Patrick out of detention, she's talking to her soccer coach, because Kat plays soccer for the school. And she's talking about how they can distract the other team to score the goal. And he's like, well, how are we going to distract him? And she's like this. And she flashes her teacher.
In the middle of detention.
Like, and then she's like, okay, so that's the plan. I'm going to go show the plan to someone else. Okay. And then she turns around to walk out, and like all of the students in detention start to applaud her for showing her breasts to her
staff member.
coach.
Yeah.
It was very like, this, why is this even in here?
I didn't like that at all.
That was like, what?
It also felt very opposed to the character that we've created. Like, this is like this counterculture feminist who reads Sylvia Plath for fun, and now she's flashing her teacher.
Because she likes a boy.
Again, like,
Yeah, it's stupid.
not very cat for me. And I also felt like it didn't. I also just didn't like the idea of like this staff member standing there letting his student flash him, and he does nothing about it.
No.
It wasn't like, hey, what are you doing? He just stood there and just looked,
watched.
which was gross. There's also a moment where where the counselor is talking to Patrick about him exposing himself in the cafeteria, and he says, I was just a joke. It wasn't really me. It was a bratwurst. And she says, well, aren't we the optimists?
Yeah.
Which is like,
why are we talking about
why are you
penis
talking
sizes
about your
of your
student's
student?
penis size as the counselor? There's also a part talking about things that don't age well, where there's an R word dropped, which again,
Yeah.
not very.
That was very 90s, unfortunately.
But I think generally, like the first 30 minutes of the movie, there's a lot of reference to Kat being a bitch and a beast, and obviously this movie is based off of Taming of the Shrew, so there's a lot of references to how she needs to be tamed.
Yes.
And it was just like kind of gross.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I did want to mention about the film quickly is the teacher the English teacher who was teaching
The angry black
Shakespeare.
guy?
Yeah. So during one of the classes, he starts the class off doing a rap, like a rap of one of the sonnets. And I instantly thought about Miss King.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss King was our English teacher in, was it 8th grade or 7th grade? 7th grade middle school. And she used to rap different things about like parts of the speech, like, you know, what an adverb does, what a verb does. And I remember like she would give us these handouts and she would always be like, take one, pass it back. Please take one, pass it back. I need the extras. Take
Nah, she would rap all the time.
all the time. But like you would remember things. Like
Yeah.
it was so good the way it wasn't corny. It sounds weird, but it wasn't corny. The way she did it
She
was
was a
actually
very
cool.
engaging teacher, especially in 7th grade,
Yeah.
where you kind of don't care about anything. And then you're like, oh, I have this English teacher that raps in class.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely made you like more engaged with whatever she was doing. And she wanted to be there, unlike the teacher in this movie, who
unfortunately.
very clearly did not want to be there.
Okay, theme time. Theme time.
Should I go first?
Sure.
I think the biggest theme was that, like, you can try to fit in if you want, but if you want to be happy, you have to just let your guard down and not worry about what other people think. That's obviously true for Kat, who has put a major wall up. But even thinking about Kat's friend,
Yeah. That's
who
exactly
like
what I was thinking
finally
about.
lets her guard down, and she finds this nice guy who's really into her, and she's able to actually enjoy high school. I'm even thinking about Bianca, who stops worrying about what other people thinks and actually just dates Cameron, despite the fact that he's not popular. Turns down Joey, even though he is popular, and
Punches Joey.
and we give her like a lot of juice as a sophomore to be dating this popular guy. But it's like, you can do things to fit in, but like you're not actually going to be happy until you just stop caring about what other people think.
Yeah. That's really the main theme. Because on the flip side, I'm thinking about, and we kind of touched on this and we talked about, I think it was Can't Hardly Wait, the idea that just because you're popular doesn't mean that you're happy. Because if you think about even looking at Chastity's character, right? So yes, Joey is currently seeing her for the moment, but I guarantee as soon as Joey has sex with Chastity, and her name is Chastity,
Of course it is.
as soon as that happens, it's going to be a repeat of Kat. He's going to break up with her and be on to the next one. And she's going to realize, like, oh, this popularity is not all that it's cracked up to be. Whereas my friend or ex-friend, Bianca, is happy with her quote-unquote loser boyfriend, Cameron, and I'm going to be alone. So,
yeah, you already know how that's going to play out.
Yes, absolutely. So it's also kind of like a cautionary tale to teens to be like, you know, be wary of the popular boy. He may not be all that he's wrapped up to be.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
He's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
He's Joey.
All right, so you mentioned this as far as the facts that this movie is based loosely on Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. The Taming of the Shrew play is actually pretty bad.
Bad in terms of
in the sense that
not entertaining?
In the play, I mean, it's kind of convoluted, so I won't go into all the details. But
so is this movie. So
no, it's even more so. But basically, we have one character who falls for the girl whose name is actually Bianca in the play. Her father will not allow her to marry before her older sister, whose name is Katharina. And so the guy disguises himself as a Latin tutor to tutor Bianca. It's all very similar. And then throughout the film is a bit of people who are dressing as disguised as someone else, which is Shakespeare style anyway. It's always someone dressing as someone else. Yep. And so basically, eventually someone ends up deciding to marry Katharina, although she doesn't want to do it, but she's forced into it because, of course, back then, when your dad says you're getting married, you're getting married. So she ends up getting married to this guy. She goes back to wherever his home is. While she's there, she's mistreated. She's refused food. And basically, her spirit is worn down until she submits and becomes an obedient wife.
All right.
So it's not great.
So the shrew got tamed.
Yes.
There you go.
It's not great. So I think, it's based off of that, which is why, of course, at the end, Kat does end up with him, because that's what happens in the other one. But they made it a little bit more palatable. But, I mean, I still didn't like the ending, but whatever.
But again, she's going to Sarah Lawrence, so it kind of doesn't matter.
So as far as casting is concerned, they considered casting Katie Holmes and James Vanderbeek for Kat and Patrick. But I don't really see James as a Patrick.
No, he doesn't work because he's not hot. So,
and I see Katie more as a Bianca anyway. But what do I know? This is interesting. Julia Stiles and Joseph Gordon-Levitt actually dated on set.
Oh, that's fire.
Which is lit. The movie was filmed at a real high school in Tacoma, Washington. I'm like, how big is this school? Because God knows they have.
It looked like Hogwarts from the outside. I was like, yo, is Harry in attendance? Like, what's going on here?
10 points for Gryffindor.
Straight up.
And then lastly...
We know how to distract the competition. Just have to flash them.
You get points in Quidditch for that?
Yeah, flashing people during Quidditch. Don't fall off your broom.
Well, Harry did a lot of that. Okay. So Junger, who is the director, he told People magazine that the scene where she did the poem was taped in one take. Stiles performed the emotional 10 Things poem scene near the end of the film. This was easily, he said, one of the most beautiful, powerful, emotional experiences I've ever witnessed as a director. He said she just tapped into that raw emotion and was able to cry on demand like that. It did it in one take. And he said, like, basically he asked her, like, how could you do that? And she said she basically just, like, thought of someone. We don't know who it was. She thought of someone and just said if she had to say these words to them, and did that. And, like...
Yeah, that's what they tell you to do.
Tapped into it. It was like, bro, like, she loves this boy. When you watch that scene, you're like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she killed that. So those are all the facts I have for 10 Things I Hate About You. Oh, no! So, sorry, I lied. This is one last thing. So there was a TV show called 10 Things I Hate About You that aired from 2009 to 2010 and was short-lived because it was like, why are we doing this? A sequel was in the works called 10 Things I Hate About Me.
10 more things I hate about you.
No, this is a much darker film. It's going to be about a man and a woman who crossed paths when they were going to the same spot to end their lives.
Okay.
But it never actually moved forward because it was like, bro, no one wants to watch that.
It's like the glorification of suicide. What was that Netflix show?
13 Reasons Why or something. So I started to watch it, but I just felt like they got so, like, I guess every episode was like one reason, but I was like, bro, just tell me the reason. Like, it was like, it was too long. It was just
too many reasons. There's too many reasons.
I just couldn't. I didn't finish it. I couldn't. It's taking too long.
Oh man.
So yeah,
I never watched
happens.
that show either. I was
happens.
like, yeah, I'm good off the suicide TV shows.
All right, time for the ratings. I went first last week. So it's your turn.
Boy. I haven't seen this movie probably not since the early 2000s. So it's been like a good 20 years. I didn't remember too much about the plot, but I do remember liking it.
Yeah.
So watching it again, it was definitely like, oh, this is why I don't remember this plot, because it's mad confusing. I mean, yeah, it's on some level, it is kind of a 90s teen movie. So there are a fair bit of things that don't age well. I think the fact that she is kind of a future forward character makes it a little bit more palatable, because she's kind of like calling out all the things about the 90s that are problematic. Again, she's doing it through the lens of like, look how unreasonable this character is. So like that part about it is not great. I also kind of just don't really love them getting together at the end. Yeah. I know this sounds bad, but I feel like her sister with Cameron makes sense. Her friend with Michael makes sense. And of course there's got to be a romantic ending, but I almost would have liked it more if she kind of like just came into her own instead of like becoming someone's girlfriend. Like, I don't think we really needed that. And perhaps in 1999, we just weren't there yet. So in terms of replay value, I would say like it's an entertaining enough movie. I'll probably give it a 3.5.
So I'll start by saying we have the same exact score. So let's start there. And I think for the reasons you mentioned, particularly the sense that watching it back again, I remember that Cameron had a crush on Bianca, but like I didn't really remember like why Heath Ledger was taking out Julia Stiles' character. Like I didn't quite remember the bet or the money and all that changing hands. But I mean, it was funny. I feel like even looking at the school counselor, as wildly inappropriate as she was, apart from the member talk, it was still like, oh, I could put this on, 5 years from now and still be like shocked by what she's doing, and it still be like mildly entertaining.
Yeah.
And the way the story kind of progresses, and it's like, what's going to happen, and, the dance, the back and forth of the relationship between Patrick and Kat is somewhat interesting. Like Joel stated, the ending was not my favorite, but it could be worse. We've seen worse teen movies.
No, it's not a bad movie.
So,
it's not a bad movie.
It's definitely entertaining, but I feel like I keep saying this, but I'm going to say it again anyway. I feel like going into this, I was excited because I really thought this was going to be one of those films that's like a crazy rewatch.
Yeah.
But after I watched it again, I was like, I mean, it was entertaining, but it wasn't a 4.5. I thought I was going to be like, love it. And then it was like, oh, you're not going to love this one. No. But I mean, it's good enough. So 3.5. It's good enough.
Fair enough. Let us know what your rewind rating is for 10 Things I Hate About You. You can reach us via email at rewindrewatch1990s@gmail.com. We're also on all the social media sites at Rewind Rewatch Podcast.
It is up.
And yeah, we will keep on rocking and rolling as we receive all of your wonderful requests. We'll continue to parse through that list.
All right. See y'all later.